Well, good morning. It's great to be here, and I think it's fabulous under the brilliant aegis of techUK. We've got this coming together of public and private sector, and I think that was a great introduction. I now feel rather jealous because I'm not allowed to be here all day. I've got other things I've got to do, but I'd love to be spending the day with you, unpacking some of the stuff that Cole was talking about. Not necessarily the theory of relativity, but all the rest of the stuff. And I thought they were some really interesting slides to start the day. The one which says 80 to 90% of public-private sector leaders regard innovation as critical to success. I'm afraid this is the sad world in which I live. I want to find out who it was in the public sector, who were the 10 to 20% who think that innovation is not critical to success, because that stat worries me more than anything else. In the same way that I'm nervous that we have, but not totally surprised, that 5 to 10% are dissatisfied across the public and private sector with their innovation performance, something we clearly need to address. And in talking to Cole just before he came up to the stage and talked to us all, he's obviously been involved in innovation and technology in the public sector for a long period. And what he referred to up here, some of the frustrations. But he did say that he sensed in government an absolute determination to change. And that is absolutely the case. There was a revolution when Cabinet Office took on its current role in tech 10 years ago, but this is a constant process. We need to get better. We need to drive that change forward. And some of the points that you picked up on, Cole, as I know, if I was here all day, I think we'd go through each of them in turn. But some of the points you raised on governance, couldn't agree more. As a procurement minister in the MOD for nearly 3 years, having those clear lines of control, people who actually have the authority to run the programme, make it cohesive across not only understanding the tech, but understanding the overall objective and the delivery mechanism, having strong SROs. I absolutely saw that as a procurement minister. It's something which government is doing, and we need to be better at it and having the right expertise, bringing that expertise from the outside where necessary. Improving our procurement regulations, I'll touch on that in this speech, and indeed, and you referred to it, making certain we've got the right funding to support innovation. But I thought that's a great way to start the day. I want to focus, if I may, on how the UK government, with that ruthless drive to deliver better public services, is embracing technological innovation, and how we want to partner with tech leaders like yourselves to improve those services. Cole referred to jeans and trainers. The Cabinet Office, as some of you will know, graces a well-proportioned 18th century building overlooking Horse Guards. And if you were asked what words jumped into your mind when you saw it, I doubt innovation or technology would be prominent. But the recognition that technological innovation is critical for delivering public policy has been deeply embedded through our lifetimes, and that is accelerating. Back in the mid-70s, when the understanding of the opportunities for wide use of computer technology was still in its infancy, government in that era was already embracing the latest technology. The MOD had procured the IBM System 360, a computer the size of a small office for military intelligence purposes. The Inland Revenue around that time was revolutionising PAYE systems through automation. And as far back as that era in 1972, there were already 4,500 members of staff inside central government, all focused on harnessing new tech for better services. Fast forward 50 years, new technology has altered almost every aspect of our lives. Food, clothes, shopping, products and services are all available to us at the swipe of or a few taps on our phone. In many ways, people are digital by default, and that's been a very rapid revolution. In other words, the British people's experience of the public sector online is now their primary experience of government, which is important, because people's experience of government digital feeds into their wider sense of how the country is working. There is a high expectation on the government to ensure that public services are not only digitally available, but also easy to use. And the public, as always, are right. Why should applying for a driving licence or self-assessing your tax be more complicated than buying your weekly food shop? That's why today we are setting the public sector the same challenge I know is being embraced in the private sector. How can we use technology to enable us to solve problems faster and more efficiently? Doing so delivers a more productive public sector and better, swifter services for our citizens. So the government must follow and achieve three things. We need to harness the power of innovation. We need to reduce unnecessary costs, and we need to better serve our citizens through digital means. So is that spirit of embracing innovation alive and well in the public sector? Well, I know, and Cole referred to it, I know there are some great examples in the civil service of doing just that, where teams have been cautiously exploring the use of AI in areas including military recruitment, apprenticeship programs, and new programs to help people into work. MOD and DEFRA launched specialist skills academies to provide world-class training in digital skills. This is something my ministerial colleague Alex Burkhardt is leading on, and I'm delighted by the progress that we're making. But despite these areas of good progress, we know we are still lagging behind the private sector. So how does the government compete in the technology triathlon of harnessing innovation, reducing costs, and improving services? Well, it's clear to me that we need to nurture and embed a pro-innovation culture. Take digital and AI, for instance. My ministerial colleague, the Deputy Prime Minister, recently set out at the UN how the United Kingdom will lead the world in AI adoption and regulation. Because AI will represent nothing less than a total shift in so many parts of our lives, leading to improvements as yet undreamt of. And it's vital that the civil service embraces those possibilities. Last year, our Central Digital and Data Office set out the government's ambition to digitally transform public services, deliver world-class public sector digital technology, and attract and retain the best in digital talent. Culture played a huge part in their vision. In the past, government has been slow to embrace new opportunities in AI. We haven't adapted quickly to new trends, meaning we've missed opportunities to reduce costs and improve services. We've got to change that, which is why our central team of digital and technology experts is creating practical frameworks to put AI to work across the civil service, creating guidance to tackle the problems of privacy, ethics, and security. We've created a new team in the civil service, an incubator for automation and innovation, who will focus on some of our most important and intractable challenges. And at the same time, we've introduced an innovation fellowship programme, which is bringing AI experts into central government to help solve the problems in public service delivery. Data and how we use it is, of course, a huge part of our plans. And it is a priority for me to ensure we address fundamental issues of data quality, sharing, and access. But already we're making progress. As we've seen through our gov.uk One Login, the new single sign-in and identity checking system, this will soon be in place for people to access all government services using one interface, which will benefit our citizens immensely. But it's no use building a car from scratch if you don't know how to drive it. So improving digital skills across the civil service will ensure that change spreads throughout all public-facing services and that everyone benefits from those innovations. I know that for many of you here today, how we teach digital skills is something in which you are passionately interested. And in truth, there is no single approach which will answer the skills question. That's why we're bringing in a number of programs to boost digital skills. We launched the Digital Commons pilot to bring in the brightest and best from the private sector to help with the biggest challenges facing society today. From top to bottom, we are instilling digital skills, whether it's asking departments to appoint at least one non-executive with digital experience, or increasing the data literacy of all civil servants through our One Big Thing initiative, offering tailored training about data by the end of the year, regardless of profession or grade or department. Launched 2 months ago, already 9% of civil servants, that's 47,000 people, have embarked on the training. And I'm looking forward to what positive changes this cohort will start to make. So we have people trained with new skills. We've given them all the ideas and new approaches to harness this new technology, and they're getting ready to plan their innovations for public services. What is important now is how we test and evaluate those innovations. Only then can we be confident that the innovation we're delivering will get the outcomes we expect. Stopping projects that don't work, learning lessons, and backing winners. When it comes to innovation, we have to recognise that it is a learning journey in which not everything will prosper. So we need to be prepared to fail fast and reinvest. To help support these goals, our evaluation task force has been operational since 2021, focused on improving programme evaluation. Since then, the task force, the ETF, has provided advice on 211 evaluations covering over £100 billion of government spend, ensuring that we learn what works and improving what doesn't. It's also boosting evaluation expertise by helping analysts to deliver evaluation training to their colleagues. It's creating a bank of best practice from 2,000 innovative projects and making sure that a thorough evaluation is the cornerstone of any innovative project and is set up to succeed from the start. This could not be more important to the future of our public services, and indeed, for the government's future relationship with industries represented in the audience here today. Good and thorough evidence will mean central government can have confidence to start new initiatives and indeed amend and alter those that aren't working as we hoped. Now, your theme today is collaboration, and the relationship between the government and tech sector is where I want to finish. I have already spoken about the new ways we're forging a relationship between the private sector leaders and the public sector. But it would be foolish to overlook how those worlds normally cooperate and not think how we can improve upon that relationship. And I'm, of course, talking here about the old bugbear, government procurement. Let me be clear. Too many of our processes, from how programmes are funded to how IT systems are procured, need reform. With innovations arriving so quickly, there needs to be a way of implementing these new ways of working into pre-existing agreements. I want us to rebuild the system to unlock transformation. And by doing this, we will help lay the foundations for government in the digital age. I know that industry leaders like yourselves have always been eager to offer expertise. And I'm keen to see how this relationship can be improved. There are already new forms of collaboration. For example, the DVLA has worked with partners to include innovation and technology refresh clauses in contracts, making it possible to develop and prototype a digital licence within an existing contract. And the Home Office is adapting to criminal enterprises that use rapidly changing technologies, and they're doing that by bringing in expertise from industry to ensure that the public sector can remain vigilant and one step ahead with that pace of innovation. These are great initiatives, and I'm glad to say that we're making it easier to form these alliances in the future. The new procurement regulations that will come into effect next year provide the flexibility. This will make it easier for government to procure innovative solutions, while providing public sector bodies with far greater opportunity to pilot and adopt innovations from suppliers. This will represent an important turning point in the well-established relationship between the public and private sector. Finally, I hope you all know it, but we have an ambition to make the most important government services great, by which we mean they deliver the best user experience possible and run as efficiently and as easily as possible. In last year's roadmap for digital and data, we committed to getting 50 of the top 75 services to a great standard, and that is defined, by 2025. Meeting this target would ensure that we can deliver most efficiently and effectively for the public. So, the rate of technological advances in our lifetimes has been astonishing. Today, AI is being used by people throughout the world. The rate of technological advances will only get quicker, with many era-defining discoveries happening within months, days of each other. I and the whole of government have a great ambition to make sure that the public sector can harness these innovations to improve public services. We're making the changes necessary to empower civil servants to do just that, but we need your help. If we want to create a culture that cherishes innovation in the public sector, We need industry leaders to show us not only how it's done, but what is possible when this attitude is encouraged. So please, a call to us all in this room. Let's collaborate to innovate, and through innovation, I'm absolutely confident that we'll create a smarter state working better for its citizens. Thank you very much indeed for your time this morning.